And so much of our life and so much of the idea of chasing change, as it were, is to actually turn. And I want to ask you this question to kind of start our process of you planning your goals this year. Is the direction you are going in the direction that you want to be going in? Hey friends, Happy New Year. I've got some good news for you and some bad news for you. First, for the good news, we're past Quitter's Day. The 10th, which is the second Friday in January, is labeled as Quitter's Day, which means most people stop their goals by then. So I don't know about you, that's super depressing to me, is that there's all this fresh energy and this excitement for goals and what's next and where we're heading, the new person we're going to become, and maybe people slap goals on a paper, or maybe people have carefully crafted those, and then quickly that momentum peters out. So I don't know where you're at on that. I don't know if you've already quit on a goal, which, by the way, it's never too late to reshape a goal. And I believe that it's okay to quit on certain things, and maybe you need to redesign on that side of things. So we are past Quitter's Day. We're halfway through the month, and I hope you have some momentum on where you're heading. Now for the bad news. Most people struggle to translate energy into actual transformation. Like, most people don't know, how do I take this burning inside of me? How do I take these next steps that I actually want to make deep down, even though they're hard? This person that I want to be on this side, and then reverse engineer. Most people simply don't have a process for that. So in this video and in taking steps, I'm always helping you to take your next right step. So I've got some practical things here, some things that I walk coaching clients through, but I want to start with a story. When I was younger, I grew up in Virginia. I loved going into the mountains of Virginia. One of the best things on a summer day, especially this hot summer day when it's humid, you're hiking through the mountains, you're sweating like crazy, is finding your way to a waterfall. And I absolutely love going cliff jumping. So a friend and I, we set out, and it turned from okay weather to blazing hot weather. We're sweating, drenched, exhausted, and we're climbing up this mountain. And about halfway through this climb, I thought, it doesn't feel like we're heading in the right direction. It feels like we were supposed to be heading along a stream. I couldn't find where we were on the map. We were getting low in water and food, and all these things are running through my mind. This is not the way that it's supposed to be. And after analyzing on the map, even though we couldn't find where we were, we knew enough to turn around. And so much of our life and so much of the idea of chasing change, as it were, is to actually turn. And I want to ask you this question to kind of start our process of you planning your goals this year. Is the direction you are going in the direction that you want to be going in? Is the trajectory that you're on going to lead you to growth? Is another way to ask that. And you can ask that in terms of your physical health. You can ask that in terms of your leadership, your financial goals. And every year, the answer for me in some areas is yes, in other areas is no. And what we did that day on that hike was ended up turning around, changing our trajectory, finding that stream. Even though we were off the map, we found our way up that stream to the waterfall that we were heading toward. It was an incredible day. We were so hot, and suddenly we jumped in this water, and it was freezing cold, and we were so glad that we were there. That's what we can do when we actually turn. We change the trajectory. And so when I think about 3 steps, I want to give you 3 easy steps right here. First of all, if you want to change, if you want to head in a particular direction, accomplish a particular thing, and you have this end at the end, you first of all have to ask this question: am I going the right direction? Is the direction I'm moving the direction I want to go? We could make the best goals in the world, and we could just pretend that, yes, everything's great, but we need to be honest with ourselves. And again, no shame, no guilt here. If you're honest with yourself, in some areas, yes, in other areas, no. Last year, I started a health journey. I got back in the gym. I had just some health frustrations in my life, and I had to say, this is not heading in the direction that I want to be in. If I continue doing this, the desired result is not good. And so I changed direction. And a lot of what I'm doing in my physical health this year, frankly, is just following up on what I was doing last year. Is the direction you're going going to lead you to the results that you want. Analyze the major areas of your life and your leadership and your finances and your health, emotionally and physically and spiritually, whatever area you want to look at. So that's the first. So be honest with yourself. Number two, determine the season that you're in. Determine the season that you're in. For me, for example, I am heading into a season of both pruning and acceleration at the same time. So once I know the season that I'm heading into, some people it's a word for the year or something like that, then you can actually form filters. So these filters sit in your life and they're there, they're waiting, and then the opportunity comes across your desk. If you're like me, you get excited. Here's my next thing. Here's what I want to do. And the filter is sitting there to say, does this line up with the season? For me, what am I pruning? What am I saying no to? What am I cutting back in my life? And then the acceleration season, several things are moving quickly. So it doesn't scare me that things are happening quickly and often in partnership with other people. Other people may be ready to run faster on something that I can be a partner on. Maybe I'm ready to run fast on that. When you know the season, you have filters, and then you can prove or I guess kind of line up or match the appropriate actions on that. Because sometimes we get excited and we make rash decisions. So again, number one, be honest. Is the trajectory you're going the right trajectory you want to be in? Secondly, determine the season and then create filters around that. Third, determine your commitments. I think this is the most important, the one that leaders usually miss because we have so much going on. This phrase, everyone needs me all the time. You got to pull out of the whirlwind and you actually have to make some commitments. What I've found is that these don't land on your calendar. They're actually not going to happen. When are you going to the gym? Like this guy that I saw. Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday from this time to this time? Or is it, I don't know. His best intentions are not going to get him to the gym when it's 9 degrees in late January, early February. He's going to peter out by then if he hasn't already. Determine your commitments. What commitments will you make? When will you put those on your calendar? And if you don't have 3 to 5 commitments this year that are new, I bet you're not going to create space and you're not actually going to do that. Probably not the right time to have 15 new commitments. I would encourage you to start with a few. You can always up them from there. But one of the big mistakes that leaders make is we either overcommit ourselves, here are the 25 new things I'm going to do this year, or we say, well, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to see when I end up at the gym and just hope that it led to me losing 45 pounds and me being able to go elk hunting next year. We have to move our intentions into actions. Friends, I love you. I love the trajectory that so many of you are on, coaching clients who I get to serve. I love coming alongside of you. And we don't need more to do here at Stay Forth, but I love creating content because I love saying to you, your dreams matter. You are uniquely designed to write a unique story. So stop cheating off your friend's paper or somebody else's goals or somebody else's season or the thing that sounds right there. But I hope to get in the way to give you just enough principles to get you moving in the right direction. Friends, if you are looking to find the waterfall, you may need to turn and move in a different direction. Ultimately, put up some filters for the season that you're in, and I hope make some commitments. I want you looking back a year from today going, man, what an incredible year this was. I am literally living in a different way and I'm literally a new person. We got all kinds of offerings and opportunities for you at Stay Forth. But first of all, you got to do the work. You got to determine where you're heading, what are your next right steps, and ultimately what you're willing to give up or commit for those. Happy 2025, my friends. Can't wait to celebrate with you when you accomplish your goals.